Hello and welcome to the Path of Least Resistance. I am Sai. Today we're going to be going over a run I did with Kaiza against the 5-star Exemplar of Demacia adventure. For Relics, I have Crownguard Inheritance, Tempest Blade, and Troll King's Crown. This is at 3 stars, and I just leveled her up. No bonus stars or anything. Someone asked for this video, and honestly, Kaiza is kind of crazy. It was really easy to level her up. So we did start with Mana Flow, which, you know, if you can start with it, it will do a lot for you. As always, you know, mana is good. Perfection is another good thing. You could take the Evolve power. Anything that gives you units to start will also help you stall, or the Hold It power, which stuns an enemy at game start, or the Frostbite power. All of those will, you know, help you survive, which is the main thing you need to do. So yeah, we're just playing units here to get some keywords active. Same reason we're buffing here. You should be looking for keywords you don't have. You want to get 6. The main idea behind this build is to stall out their second attacking round. So you're gonna have to eat the first one, but then for the second one you should be able to drop Kaiza. She should be leveled up, and then she'll stun and also give you rally, and then you just attack and win the game, is kind of the general idea. So here I played early, which means I'm not going to be able to take advantage of the stun preventing their entire next attack, but if you're confident you can win a round, that's fine. You can also roll into Lifesteal, as we did here, and Lifesteal, obviously very good, will let you not block certain units, and then will let you heal to full before your next round. So you're going to want to generally be at full hit points when you finish a game, so that you don't have to worry about the next game. And something like Hive Herald does help you do that by copying those keywords as well. So here we're going to attack for 18 lifesteal, and yeah, that's kind of the general plan on how we're going to get through these adventures. It's 5 a.m. My brain not work so good, but it's fine. I should be able to make enough sense here. I took Moonglow because it has Farsight Alteration and also adds the Spell Shield keyword. Not sure that was necessary. Ruin Runner might have been okay too. It has 2 keywords on it. It does cost 5, which is a negative, but I mean overall it's fine. Here I decided on taking Poppy because the Yordle middle one has Deathless on it, which means that we're going to be able to copy Deathless onto Kaiza, and I thought that was going to be fun. So again, you're just trying to stack as many keywords so that you can get to evolve, so that when you drop your Kaiza you don't lose the game. Basically the whole idea here. So I didn't want to drop Yordle Smith until I was able to copy it with Kaiza, because if you get hit with something like single combat, you'll lose that Deathless, and then Kaiza won't be able to copy the single combat. So that is, or not the single combat, the Deathless. So that is bad. There I'm able to replay it. Since we had 2, it was fine to drop one of them, because here when we drop Kaiza, even if they were to use single combat, we could still copy Deathless at burst speed, since we had the attack token. So we always get to go first, and our first thing is going to be dropping Kaiza, and then we can steal Deathless. Here I'm trying to set up to have 6 keywords at the start of next round. That'll make it so I don't lose the game, because obviously if I get hit right now with all of their units, that would be very bad. But we get our 6th keyword, stuns our entire board, and then we also get rally, so that is nice. Here I'm worried about the bird challenging Kai'Sa, because the bird can kill Kai'Sa, so that would be bad. But it chooses not to, not sure why. Maybe it wanted to get rid of a unit permanently, and seeing Deathless made it not want to do that, not sure. If we attack here, the bird will be able to block Poppy, which would be bad, so I kill it with a Void Seeker. And once you have your evolve, it's not super necessary to keep going for keywords. You can take just stats, although keywords will help your attack with your level up power, just do 1 extra damage to everything. And here I attack, but it turns out this wasn't very good at all. I thought it would be, but yeah, it just didn't end up working out super well. If you have Perfection, all of your bolts from your level up power do 4 damage instead of 1, which is why Perfection is one of the better abilities on Kai'Sa. And always be trying to copy keywords that you don't already have, or double up on something like Spell Shield. If you lose Spell Shield, you can, just take it again, preventing yourself from getting captured or otherwise removed is obviously very powerful. Here I'm setting up a block, and I didn't block with Poppy because I felt like it wasn't worth the damage savings to lose Poppy, and we can win next round. And I do lock into lifesteal here. I would have finished off the game regardless, because you want to get out of these adventures kind of as fast as possible. But, having lifesteal to get that extra 5 hit points back is nice. Although we were only missing 5 total, so we would have regened 4 probably. Here I take Bandle Painter because it has Augment and Phase Favor, so that's just 2 keywords for 3 mana, which I found to be a good deal. And buy an extra reroll to use it later, and we go into Swiftwing Flight. So I think I make a mistake in this adventure. I think this is one where I misclicked a card, and then I ended up losing because of that. So, when you're doing it, don't do that. And the 1 extra mana is really, really helpful, because it's letting us play things like Bandle Painter on round 1, whereas normally we wouldn't be able to do that until round 2, and then so we'd be just down a keyword and down a blocker. Here I want to try to take as little damage as possible, but because of Challenger, you don't get to pick your blocks, and we end up taking way too much damage. Overall, this is still fine though. Also, I'm not sure Troll King's Crown is really super necessary. It does give everything Overwhelm, which is nice, but you could potentially do something else. Like a Stalker's Blade maybe even would probably be good. There I attacked because I thought that I had more. I thought that I had quick attack, and I definitely did not, so I lost my Kai'Sa, and that is how we lose this game. So if I had done nothing, she probably would have leveled here and would have stunned this entire board, and then I wouldn't have, died. But yeah, I played that very wrong. Sometimes doing nothing is correct. Honestly, often doing nothing is correct. But it's fine, we go again. Maybe Guardian Angel even would be okay instead of Troll Kings. There's just a lot of units you have that you can pick up Overwhelm from, so it's not terribly important. You do want something like Overwhelm or Elusive so that you can actually make your damage go through without it being blocked, but take what you're given. Here we have one blocker, we want more blockers. They still managed to do a lot less damage because they didn't have the same units that they had before. And we do, fortunately, draw our champion at a great time. I think if I play her, it stuns everything because we level up here. So it might have been better to wait until next round to do that. You do have to risk getting attacked when you delay. If they do decide to open attack, you just kind of lose the game. But often they won't if they have another card they can play. And we did put Deathless on Kai'Sa here, so we're fine to block with her. The Squire Yordle Squire has Rally on it, so if we block, we'll get Rally. I should not have ended the turn there, not sure why I did. I could have attacked there. I have quick attack. I don't know, weird choice. I would not stall for lifesteal here. If possible, you want to end this as early as you can, just so you don't take extra damage from like this elusive. And also because so many of their units have Challenger, it's really possible that they can just delete most of your board, get rid of your strong units. But we did manage to get lifesteal, so I guess it all worked out. And of course, if we see lifesteal on the board, we steal it. If you get something like Spirit's Refuge as a card, you can give temporary lifesteal to a unit and then use Second Skin to make it permanent on Kai'Sa. So that's another way you can transfer over a keyword. I thought really hard about Camouflaged Horror here. I like the idea of, you play a card, strikes the enemy. That sounds fun, but I end up taking Payday instead. Part of that idea is we can maybe remove it later. Relentless Pursuit probably would have been okay. I do take Noxian Might there. Might have been worth re-rolling because we have so many re-rolls here. If you could re-roll into something like Evolution, you just kind of win the game. So I'm happy with most of the hands, so I decide to keep it. It ends up resulting in me not drawing my champion, but you can't play your champion on round 1 anyway, so it's not terrible if you don't draw her immediately. And then on Braum, typically you kind of don't want to play cards until they've attacked a couple times, because they do not have a lot of damage, but they do gain damage when they block, and they have Challenger, so tends to be worse for you if you have something on the board for them to challenge. And with Kai'Sa, you do run the risk of her volleys just triggering all of the damaging all of the units, which gives them +2/+2 from the champion power, and then also a lot of those units have their own bonus damage thing, like the Scar units all will get +3/+0 if you damage them, and then you're going to be doing 1 damage because of your volley. So you can see all these units have just grown like crazy in stats, but it's mostly okay because we have Elusive on Kai'Sa, and everything was stunned, so between those two things we're able to just finish off the adventure without much trouble. But had they gotten me a chance to attack us back, that would have been pretty tragic. So it was nice that we picked up Elusive when we did. Here I thought about Spirit, but I think Quick Attack's just better. It makes it so that we're free to attack more often. Also, if you have Chosen by the Stars, definitely use that. I would use that over Troll Kings. And I do Trifarian Might here. We have a lot of units that are 5 or more power. Here, I think about unlimited power, it'd be fine, I think. We don't typically play 3 cards in a turn, but sometimes we do. But unlimited power isn't necessarily game-changing, and so I spent a couple rerolls there just because I have 5, and didn't find anything that I felt worth the trade-off. I think, generally speaking, that is correct, just to skip those 8 of Spirits unless your deck is completely broken, but then if it's completely broken, you don't really need the 8 of Spirit anyway, so... Not really sure how I manifested a Sprightly, and I think it had to do with that card that I dropped first. And here I'm just blocking with everything because I don't want to take damage. I already used a revive earlier. You don't want to spend more. I dropped the Void Blaster kind of to stall the round. If I were to drop Kaza, she probably would have leveled, and then who knows what happens. We stun everything, but since we're not able to kill the opponents this round, the next round would have been much more dangerous. Here I'm not sure what they're going to do, but if they challenge both units and then attack, I lose the game, so I felt it worthwhile to just drop Kaza in that moment. But it might have been fine to pass, as they could have had something else they could have played. So I Spell Shield Poppy and then steal it from Poppy because it'll go onto Kaza anyway by doing that. And if I just Spell Shield on Kaza, then Poppy wouldn't have Spell Shield. So that's a little bit, would have been a little bit worse. The way we did it is a little bit better. And we have all the keywords we want here. So things are going pretty well. One downside is that 528 power unit. So anything with Deathless is what we're attacking with. Because even if they die, they'll come back, so it's fine. Not sure why I decided to drop the Elders over the Hive Herald. Really could not tell you. Or why I didn't play the Yordle Squire who has Rally on Death. I don't always know what I do. Regardless, you do so much damage that once their entire board is stunned, things go pretty well for you. So I take cost reduction on the thing that's giving me 2 keywords. And at the shop, I take the Green Glade Lookout power, because having blockers is really good. Double Poppy means you're guaranteed to draw Kaza. I should have just attacked here. I don't think I understood what was on my board. Again, these games are pretty late, and so my brain is not always fully functional at the time. I do need to be able to block here. So I play the Yordle Squire because I want to steal Deathless off of the Yordle Smith. And same as earlier, if we drop it on after they've attacked and they're out of mana, they can't single combat it before I can steal it. I think here I'm deciding whether I think they'll play another unit. and they didn't, and they just single combated me. Which is probably still better, because if they had single combated Kai'Sa, that would have been bad. Although we could have stolen Deathless by then, so maybe it would have been fine. We go to the next round, we level up, stun everything, and rally. Clearly have some indecision on what card to play there. I think I chose it for Spell Shield, and then I stole Spell Shield. Maybe I'm just saying that because it seemed like a good idea after the fact. And maybe I had no idea why I played that card in the moment. Not sure. Here we block with the Yordle Squire because that'll give us rally. We can also block with Kai'Sa because Kai'Sa wasn't gonna die. And they're out of mana, so they couldn't threaten us further. If they did have mana, it could have been bad. Here I take Exhaust because it summons a champion. Champions, you know, pretty good. And we find a extra revive. So we buy that. The champions don't matter off of the summoning stone. Mostly it's to have a blocker. And we go into Jarvan. So that extra revive is really nice because we lost our revive earlier. Again, that was due to a mistake in thinking. Just don't lose that adventure when you're doing it. You know, don't attack a unit for no reason. And then here I want a fairly wide board because when Jarvan attacks, all of those things are going to have double attack, which means our Nexus is going to take an enormous amount of damage. I think it's best to exhaust things that you're not blocking so that you just take less damage. I think that's fairly obvious. But we do have to give up our whole board there. And here, I decided to hold Kai'Sa until next round so that I could stop the next attack. Which I think was a good thought. Unfortunately, I forgot Golden Aegis was a thing. So I lose here. I also forgot that guy had Sharp Sight. But yeah, between me attacking and them cataclysming me, there is absolutely no way to survive here. So you will note that we did use 2 revives, which normally you would not have access to. We just were able to buy one. But again, just don't die in that earlier round, and then you can make a mistake here, or find a power that gives you multiple units to block with, or stuns, frostbite, things like that. So that this adventure becomes a lot safer. Something like Vanguard Lookouts or the Armed Gear Head powers would give you extra blockers. And so here I'm just playing units for blocks, and of course we attack with the elusive since they can't block elusive. Start of round 2, they usually open attack with Jarvan. And I think that exhaust was bad. I think I should have exhausted one of the 3/3s and then blocked the 5. I think that makes more sense. I'm not sure why I didn't do that, but I didn't. So I took probably like 4 extra damage there than I needed to. And so this time I'm fully aware of Golden Aegis being a thing because it just happened to me. And so I am not dropping any cards while I have, well, our opponent has mana. And now that they're out of mana, I can choose to drop Kai'Sa. If I do that, I'd probably lose the next round. And so I think I dropped the Yordle Ranger eventually. I don't. Okay. Maybe I should have. To steal the scout. But here, I'm pretty sure they're not going to attack me round 1 because they have the 4 Demacia in hand, and they'll probably want to use it before they attack. They also kind of just play any card they can, so we're able to take advantage of that and play Kai'Sa a little bit late so that we are able to block with her. And now we play the Yordle Scout, and there's the Golden Aegis. We want to steal Scout before we have to block with that unit. And we can attack Jarvan here because of the Void Volley and Quick Attack. We don't lose Kai'Sa on that attack, and we kill Jarvan, even though he had Barrier to start with. And then here, just make good blocks so that you don't lose the game. And we can attack again because of Scout. Not quite enough to win. And we'll drop the Yordle Smith so that we can steal his Deathless later. This time I do make the right exhaust choice. But I do have 2 exhausts in hand, so I can use both. And I decide to get rid of their unit as well. Use the second exhaust so that we take 0. And then it also gives us that extra blocker. We don't need to do much this round. I think just an attack with Kai'Sa is fine. And we also picked up lifesteal, so we end with full health. And that is that adventure. So obviously I died twice there and also started with mana flow. I suspect this is much harder if you don't start with mana flow. Just because of the need to get some early units down. But like I said, something like Armed Gearheads is a potential solution for that, or hold it, or hold them off. Maybe Treacherous Terrain, but that one's a little less good. But yeah. So if you have one less mana gem, you're probably more likely to play Kai'Sa on turn 4 to stop that attack and stun everything and then get your rally. And it should still work out like mostly okay, but there are going to be some points where you just don't have enough units on board and you have to draft cheaper units in order to stay alive. Yeah, that is all for this. It went relatively smoothly. Like I said, you can probably replace Troll King's Crown if you have Chosen by the Stars. I think that is always a good option to put on Kai'Sa. I do like the stun and rally on level up. It never feels quite right to play Kai'Sa without Crownguard, although sometimes you end up not using Crownguard because of circumstance. Tempest Blade does help you utilize that by stunning their entire board. Usually if you're leveled up, you can get an attack in even if they have a blocker. So that is my suggestion. I'd probably keep those 2 relics and then also go with Chosen by the Stars over Troll Kings. Obviously if you have Beast Within, you could just do that. If you don't have Chosen by the Stars, and if you have something like Perfect Hex Core, I think that is probably going to be really good on Kai'Sa as well. Because giving extra keywords, obviously very good. Anyway, that is all for me. Thank you for watching. If you like what I'm doing, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.